Sonia West and welcome to Sanjhi Galbaat. Today we're in Surrey at the City of Surrey. We're going to talk to the Mayor of Surrey, Brenda Locke. She's going to talk about the state of the city's address from yesterday, and she's going to talk about the future of Surrey, how it's changed over the years, what's to be expected in the future. We're going to talk about the citizens here, the facilities here. We're going to talk about crime, drugs, all of the things that we want to discuss with the Mayor. Let's go and talk to the Mayor of the City of Surrey now, Brenda Locke. It is my pleasure to talk to the Mayor of Surrey. Hello, how are you this morning?
I'm very good, Sonia, thank you.
Brenda Locke, we heard you speak yesterday at the State of the City, and I must say you had the crowd. You had everybody there watching, and they were all interested in what you're saying, which is rare to hear and see at a political event, but you did a great job.
Well, thank you. You know what? The City of Surrey has so much to talk about and be proud about, and so that I could have gone on for another hour, but
Yeah.
it was, the city is just doing and moving so quickly.
Right. You called the City of Surrey Metro Surrey. A little joke there, but tell me a bit about that. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, so we're looking at doing a Surrey 2050 plan that will be the real lead to us in talking about what our future will look like moving forward. Surrey will be the biggest city in this region. There's no question about it. We will hit 1 million people first. We're already just about the same size as Vancouver. So we need to have our own identity in all that. And we will be, and practically are, the economic engine of this region for a number of reasons, not the least of which is the fact that we're the only place that has the industrial land.
Yes.
So the growth has to happen here.
Right. And I listened to what you were saying yesterday, and you said almost like 30 people every day.
30 people, 28 to 30 people a day are moving into Surrey. So it's sometimes a daunting task to figure out how we're going to accommodate. I mean, the housing is one issue, but it's all the amenities, and that's what we were talking about is how do we build the amenities we need to do, and the city is stepping up on that front.
Right.
But how do we encourage the province to do what is their responsibility? So healthcare, education, public transit, social infrastructure.
Right.
We need to see more.
Yes. And Surrey's evolved so much. If we look at the reputation of Surrey. So when I was growing up, I remember the reputation of Surrey wasn't what it is now. You've done a great job, and the city's done a great job of turning this around and making it, the destination for most people that want to come here to this country, want to come to Surrey. It's changed a lot. So talk a bit about what it used to be in the past and what it is now, and then what it's going to be in the future.
Well, I've always been a proud resident of Surrey. I've lived here for well over 40 years, raised my kids here and all that. But, we did have a reputation that wasn't as good as it should be.
Right.
We certainly saw with Mayor Watts that improved, and more so with Mayor Hepner. So I think for me, it's really important that we continue to see that positive energy happen. And we just have to look at our parks. What we're contributing to this city in terms of spaces and places for residents is truly inspiring at times. And we look just north of where City Hall is.
Yes.
The new 10,000 seat stadium is going to be a game changer for the city, but certainly for this area.
Right.
Nicomeco Park, which is going to be a beautiful, huge new park that's all a green park. It will be good for people walking, but kayakers and canoers on Nicomeco. There's just so many things that we have to look forward to, including what we're doing at Cloverdale. And Cloverdale, when we get a hold of that, will just transform our city.
Yeah, let's talk about that new facility that's being built in Cloverdale. I drive by it every day. I'm excited to see it. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so the goal, the plan is to look at Cloverdale, the land that we have, which is about 130 acres. The city has 130 acres just off of 64th and 176. And just transforming that into places and spaces where people can meet. We've already got a really good community center there. We're just opening up our 2 ice rinks. We're doing another ice rink that will be adjoined to the 2 that are opening this summer. But then there's all the area to build for community spaces. So we'll be upgrading the Bill Reid Amphitheatre. We'll be upgrading our own Stetson Bowl and what we're doing at the Agriplex as well.
Wonderful. Diversity. When we think about diversity, we think of Canada. Canada is very diverse, and Surrey is just like a mini little version of that. We see so much diversity here. And you said in your speech yesterday that, what was it, 233?
Yes.
Is that the right
number?
number?
Good. You
I was
got
paying
the numbers.
attention. You had my attention. That's really surprising to me. I didn't know that we were that diverse. Can you speak to the diversity of Surrey?
You know, people from all over the world. And I sometimes say you can travel around the world and just stay right in Surrey, whether
true.
it's the food or dance or concerts or all the different things to enjoy the cultures that we have within our city.
Yeah.
And that is our strength. There's no doubt about that. I mean, we're seeing that on the business side.
Yeah.
We're looking at Newton alone, a 7% increase in businesses just last year.
Yes.
But you look all around the city and you will see people of all different ethnic backgrounds, and it's such a contribution to who we are as a city.
Yeah, I've even seen the diversity in sports, you know, cricket, and we've got grass hockey and such.
Isn't that remarkable? We're really seeing that. You're right, field hockey, grass hockey is something that I know was actually the first sport I ever played, which was surprising. I know, it's surprising, but you know, we didn't have those kind of facilities in the days, so field hockey was something people played. But you know, yeah, we're seeing things like baseball are slowing down, but we are seeing cricket and wrestling and field hockey and kabaddi and things that normally people don't see in our kind of urban centers. Of course, there's always the main soccer, huge in Surrey, and kids from everywhere in the world know how to play soccer. So
let's talk about the safety of Surrey. That's always a topic. I know that we were concerned about that even yesterday during the speech. You talked to, I think, Norm Lipinski. Just mentioned that he was there and the support and stuff. Tell me about the safety of Surrey and what you see for Surrey going forward.
Yeah, you know, we're continually looking at public safety issues, and it's a concern for every city. That's not specific to our city, but Surrey on a whole is a very safe city. We have challenges. There's no doubt about it, just like every city. Yeah. But my relationship with the RCMP in the past has been really extraordinary. We're not quite there in making that happen with the Surrey Police Service, and I'm hopeful that that will happen. But right now, there is a police board that oversees the Surrey Police Service, and so we have to get that communication in better shape than it is right now. Okay. But I still would tell you that Surrey is a safe city. We will make sure of that. I do keep my eye on it all the time, and so does our public safety rep on the board, as well as the Public Safety Committee, Councillor Rob Stutt, who's a former RCMP member. Right.
So. When we talk about the beauty of Surrey, it's a beautiful place. And I remember years ago when Wally wasn't the most beautiful, but it's really changed. You know, the look of it is completely different than what it was. So it's nice to see beautiful Surrey. But there's some parts of Surrey where people are dumping garbage, and now you've come up with a plan for them to maybe not do that. Yeah. Tell us a bit about that plan.
Yeah, so we have free dumping now in Surrey. We did it last year as a pilot. If you remember, years gone by, we did this thing where people could just put their garbage or their stuff they don't want in the front of it just made a big mess, and it was a challenge. So now we give residents free dumping at our landfill.
Amazing.
And people used it. And last year was the sort of test, and it worked. Okay. And so we're seeing less dumping. But I will say one of the things and one of the reasons we had the Focus Newton campaign was for exactly what you're talking about. We really found Newton was becoming unkept, not a well-kept looking community. And so we're doing everything. We are keeping our eye on Newton to make sure it is kept clean and tidy, and you know that includes sometimes talking to businesses and saying, no, you can't put out bad looking signage, and you got to clean up your area too.
Right.
So we're doing a lot of that in Newton, and it shows.
Yeah, I think sometimes people just need to know that there is a facility or that they have a choice. They don't know what to do. So just giving them that information, knowledge is power, right?
Yes, it is.
So
absolutely.
That's a wonderful thing that you tested it and now people can actually use the facility. So we'll do a report on that as well.
And
Very
free of
excited about that.
charge. Free of charge.
See, that's the best part.
It's a good deal.
Yeah. So tell me about, we've got a lot of students that are still here. I know a lot of students have been sent back to their home country just with immigration craziness that's going on. How are the immigrant students doing here now? Is there any report on that?
Yeah, we're keeping our eye on that, and I know there's a number of NGOs that are watching out for students. I know PICS is one of them, but there's other. Diversity is looking after students when they see them. I'm hopeful that it is that their lives are turning around, and I do talk to them once in a while. I don't, newcomers and especially students are not always, they're kind of shy to talk to the mayor of a city, but I do try and reach out to them when I get that chance. I think it's something we have to stay on top of because it's really, the stories were gut-wrenching.
Yes.
That we heard about especially young women that were being exploited. So we want to make sure we're managing that. On the other hand, though, we will miss the number of students we had. They were a part of the fabric of Surrey, and they certainly were part of the economy in Surrey. So we have to see how this all changes.
Absolutely, I agree with you on that. It is nice to recognize that the students did work hard to make a future for themselves. Yeah,
they did. They contributed to our city for sure.
So what do you think the challenges are of Surrey? There's been a lot of work that's been done and things are really going very well. The world is looking at us and going, wow, good job, Surrey.
Yeah.
So what do you think the challenges are now going forward?
I think the big challenge for Surrey is to make the other order of government, especially the province, recognize that the growth is here.
Yes.
The economic engine of this province is here, and they need to support Surrey residents. And I talked in my State of the City address a lot about healthcare and education, and they need to put more money into it for our residents. There's no doubt. I mean, our healthcare system is just at a tipping point. It is so concerning to me, and I know to the doctors and other healthcare professionals about the very dire strait that we're in.
Yeah.
So the province needs to step up, and we need a plan. We know they can't do it in tomorrow.
Yes.
But we need to know what is their plan to get us there. What is their plan to get us where Vancouver is? Right. We're not even close.
No.
So we need that. We need to know what their plan is for education. I mean, 86,000 kids in our school district, and that's not including the kids that go to private schools, so which is probably another 10,000. So you think of the number of children that are in Surrey.
Right.
And we don't have the school system to support them.
Is that a provincial? You have to look to provincial for that.
Yes, then? Absolutely.
So portables and stuff in parking lots, that's kind of what you're trying to combat.
Yeah, we have more portables in Surrey than all the other school districts combined. Wow. Portable washrooms, that is just not acceptable at anybody's measures. So. And
I've actually heard from just residents in Surrey that some of the schools are so old that the water, they actually have signs that say don't drink from the actual water taps because the pipes or whatever are so old that it could be dangerous for the kids. That scares me.
That's frightening, and I need to find out where those schools are because I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah.
But I went with the firefighters a week ago to take paper and paper towels to the school, to the Surrey Teachers Association, because they were running out of paper. These are kind of small things. The expectation to have paper in a school should not be a privilege.
Right.
It's kind of expected.
Of course.
And so how absolutely shameful is that? It is.
It's alarming, actually. I didn't know that was a thing, that we needed paper. That's a surprise.
And paper towels. I mean, that's a healthcare issue at that point.
Absolutely.
So, we need to see the province step up in a very, very major way and very quickly.
Yeah, thank you about that. Speaking up for us in Surrey and, for the whole province, actually. Everybody needs that in every city. Tell me about the drug problem in Surrey. Is there a drug problem in Surrey?
Yeah, there is. I mean, we can't avoid what we're seeing every day on our streets. And, we know where those sort of very hot spots are that are the street entrenched folks. But the problem with drugs like fentanyl, too often that's consumed at home by themselves, and people were still losing lives. There is lots of progress. There's some great organizations that have come up. And I'm thinking of organizations like the one that Gary Tandy leads and Moving Forward, right?
That's right.
And such, and others that are really helping people where they are. It will never be solved by government. It will always be the village. It will always be the people,
the community.
The community that steps up.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all that you're doing. Wonderful to talk to you again. If there's a message you want to give to the people that are watching right now, you can go right ahead and do that.
Well, I just want to tell people that Surrey is just an amazing city. I am so proud to be the mayor of this city. And I also want to tell you that the vision that we create for this city is all of us. It's everybody together, working together to make that vision happen.
Thank you so much, Mayor.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So that was today's episode of Sanjhigalbaat. We got to speak to the mayor of the city of Surrey. She talked about the issues that are happening here in Surrey and what the future looks like for Metro Surrey, she said, because Surrey is now just on the biggest scale in the world. People are looking towards Surrey to come and live here because it is a beautiful city. I'm a proud resident of Surrey. So thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time.